Hi, it's John, and today I'd like to talk to you about light language. What is it? How do you learn it? How do you practice it? And how do you develop your skills over time? Um, so, yeah, where do I begin? First of all, my journey started um, back when, a couple of years ago at least, um, after I met the amazing, fascinating fairy. Um, and I'll put a link to her channel in the description. I I was watching a lot of her videos, and she did a lot of light language, both in like live streams and also in her music. And she also like raps along with her music in light language. And there's this beautiful expression that I see in her, in everything she does, but also in her light language, this like raw energy and emotion, and like this fierceness, this fire of, and it's very, um, very loving and very passionate. And when I first heard it, when I first heard light language, I didn't understand it. I didn't really get, my mind didn't understand the purpose behind it, but I loved the way it sounded, and I love like the energy that comes through it. And so it really fascinated me, and I didn't know at the time, that it's something I could learn myself over time, or should I say, relearn it. So I was asking the fascinating fairy. I said, "So, how would you recommend I get started?" And she said, "Well, why don't we do like a collaboration together?" And we did our first song together doing light language. And I remember, I said, like, how do I speak it? And she said, like, remember what it's like when you were a child and you used to like make up languages, or you were probably told that you were making up languages. And these sounds, these words, these expressions, these energies are just like flowing from you. Like, people might call it like gobbledygook or gibberish, but these are labels behind, over the top of something that is really quite magical and unique to all of us. And so I started doing that. Like, I remember making some sounds like ar and brantaka, and just like exploring these different sounds. And it was often quite um, deep. And to me, the sounds were just like a mix of, felt like my soul language, origins, lifetimes in the past where I'd spoken these languages, um, almost like a kind of magic behind the words, and then also a mix of, I always felt like there was some Italian or European influence in there, and yeah, just like so many things. So I'm being bitten a bit by insects. um, so yeah, so I practiced this a bit, and then we did our first collaboration together as a song, with me singing light language, or speaking certainly in light language. And I found it really fascinating because it's, if you if you see the universe for what it is, I certainly feel that it is energy first. And so when you apply this kind of energy first principle to everything you do, the actual outcome, the end expression of something, is less important than the intent and the energy that goes into the creation, that is encoded in the creation of that thing. And so just like when I record a song every day, I before I start, I like fill my heart with this love of this universe, and then I blast it out to the camera, to my phone that's recording, and I just like send out all this joy and love. And so that when I'm singing, I want that joy and that love to come through, and to whoever listens to it, to raise their vibration. And so in many respects, it doesn't really matter what I'm singing, or the words or the notes, but they are directly influenced by my intention, by my energy behind it. And it's very hard to sing a happy song when you're sad. It typically ends up making you happier. And just like listening to my music, I hope it raises your vibration. Um, yeah, so how do you get started? I have seen there are quite a few videos out to learn light language. And first of all, I think the most important thing, and my song today was just about this, is all the answers you seek are inside of you. Everything you seek in this lifetime is inside of you. And that is the true power of the light of you. It is the source light, the creation of this universe within you, uniquely expressing itself through you and through your soul and through your human form in this lifetime. And so when you want to learn something like light language, it's really just a way of being able to say, well, there's something inside of me that already knows this, and I want to tap into this gift that exists already. And so the way I'd recommend you start it is to to really play with the sounds, to explore the sounds and the words that feel right for you, and to uh, you know start to integrate them in like a daily practice. So, for instance, I do things like when I walk up to a tree, like the one behind me, I can't reach it; it's quite far away. But if I reach up and touch it, I can, I would just say Hinakaya, and they're just the first sounds that come to me, and I'm setting the intention, like I want to send this tree love. I want to connect with it, and so, and it's quite short. Like I'm just saying a couple of words, and then I'm listening, um, and then to also, when I feel empowered or when I set the intention to work, to do energy clearing, to do darkness clearing, in me, when I set that intention, it builds up this real fire, this energy in my heart, and I want to express it in a much more powerful way. And for me, it tends to be much deeper, like a growl, like the lions, like the lion or dragon energy, like a mix, and like a mix of my soul energy as well. Um, and so it tends to be more like Umyaka Nakaya. And so a really interesting aspect of light language is, well, what does it mean? And the point of it, the expression, this kind of um, language without vocabulary, or should I say, without a limited vocabulary, is really about expressing um, the the energy, and in a way that your heart can understand. So not really talking to your mind. And that's why it doesn't surprise me that when I post videos about light language, that some people just find them very strange, or they maybe think I'm crazy, or they just find it difficult to get, and they don't really know what to say. It's like, oh, John, you write lots of music, but what's this kind of funny talk that you call light language? Like, what is it? Um, and yeah, for me, it has been a journey for sure. Like, it's definitely been a big thing, like facing my fear of ridicule. And what I would say is, for the couple of comments that I've had quite recently that aren't super positive, or they're a bit confused, and it's definitely someone's mind responding. There are way more positive comments, and it's people's hearts responding. I've had comments like, "Oh, that really resonates with me. It just feels good. I feel really good after that. Thank you." And other people saying that they recognize the language, like it reminds them of what they've heard in previous lives. And that's really exciting. And that they want to practice it in this lifetime. And so, yeah, I found that a really kind of joyous experience of like just trying something new. It feels quite edgy and has like, a fear associated with it for me. But when I'm actually doing it, I always start, and I'd recommend you do this. There's some beautiful wildlife around here, some deer wandering around over there. Um, but yeah, before you start talking, I would consciously set the intention. So if you want to, express, maybe you want to vent some emotion, maybe you want to, some raw emotion, maybe you want to heal someone, or you want to express ancient wisdom or knowledge that exists within you. then set that intention before you do it. You know, connect your heart up into the highest dimension of the source of this universe above, connect it down to the core of the planet Earth, the Mother Gaia. Hold that energy in your heart and then set the intention. And I found that useful in my recent light language shorts, like my video clips under a minute, to just say what this is for. And so I'm speaking out loud in English what I want the listener to experience, and whether it's energy clearing or activation or whatever it is. And the way that I also find really useful practicing is just getting used to the different sounds. So I hear, and you know, many people will give you lots of opinions, and I'd also agree there is like a lot of knowledge out there about light languages, but it's really important to de- to develop the skill yourself, to learn it yourself. It's not really a language. My opinion is it's not really a language to learn from others. It's a language for you to. It's your language. It's your energy. It's your expression, and it's up to you to be able to tap into that ancient wisdom within your soul and express it. You can also channel light language, but we'll come into that in a minute. But yeah, the sorts of sounds that I really love experimenting with and getting used to in my body, I like the rolling R's and the arcana, like that very lyre, like that cat purring sound, and these like kind of deeper sounds like unisiyamana. This um, this very kind of deep sound to me is sometimes lyre, and it sometimes kind of bleeds into some of my like dragon energy origins. And then there's also like really playful. I haven't spoke much of this kind of spectrum of my light language, but there's also like some of my spirit guides are. I have a manta spirit guide, and they're much like higher frequency, far more kind of staccato, like and it and I really love the different rhythms in the sounds as well. Like, and I understand, like going back to Fascinating Fairy, who got me started in this, is that it's incredible the rhythm that you can create when you break apart. You know, you break apart your own restrictions of learning like human languages, because you can just create in these ways that just flow through so easily, and your mind isn't constantly engaged. Like you're not constantly thinking about the next word and how you're going to say it and the pitch and note you're going to sing it at. You're allowing your soul origins and your energy to flow through far more freely, and so that's really exciting to explore that more. And yeah, so each day I'd recommend, even if you're embarrassed doing it in public, you know, go out for a walk and do it, or a quiet space at home, or sometimes in meditation it's nice just to say a few sounds. Sometimes when I see myself in the mirror, I often just say a few words in light language, and it's almost like I'm acknowledging my soul and my soul gifts and origins. Um, and then, of course, when you're out in nature, it's a beautiful time to do it as well. Um, I also enjoy when I'm hoovering, vacuuming at home, and I'm singing along. Sometimes I'll just sing along light language over the top of, you know, other songs, and I find that really interesting. It's almost like a reflection of what they're saying. I'm then like interpreting it through my energy and expressing how it feels to me through light language. Um, and then, of course, channeling, you can channel anything, right? I think what's different about channeling light language is certainly I only really tend to do it, or do it most strongly in my darkness clearing, healing, gift activation sessions. And that's when I'll often invite the client's guide to step in. So it very much feels like to me, it feels like a different consciousness is expressing themselves through my human form, through my voice box. And often I feel a difference in my throat. Like if you imagine that this is my natural human pitch of my voice, I often feel like that default pitch changes when I channel. It changes to the default of the entity that I'm channeling, and and yeah, that's also cool too. But channeling for me is, is just you can channel in English, you can channel in light language, you can channel in energy. There's so many different ways that you can do it. There's no real limit, and it doesn't require you to know anything just to be able to do it without expectation. So yeah, we're coming up on time. Yeah, what I'd like to do is just leave you with some thoughts. So first of all, do if you're going to sit down and speak light language for a period of time or share with others, then I would definitely suggest you like connect into source, ground yourself into Gaia, to Mother Earth, and to set up protection around you. Set a golden bubble of light around you, and just set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission and with the highest good love and compassion for you, your loved ones, for your audience, are allowed into the space. And you can ask your guides, your spirit guides, to come and join you in that safe space. And then set the intention for the light language itself. So say out loud what you want it to be, whether it's for healing, expression, maybe just practicing the different sounds. Maybe you want to recall the gift more from previous future lives. Um, and and yeah, to practice each day, and just do it without expectation. It's not something that your mind will understand. And so it's very easy for me. Like when I listen back to light language that I've done, I'm like, I, I don't understand the words individually, but when I listen with my heart, I totally get it. Like I totally feel the energy behind it. I feel the tone, the pitch, the expression, the vocalization, like the mouth shapes, the energies that brings through. Um, and this, what feels to me like an ancient wisdom that my soul has learned since the beginning of my soul's journey over eons. And that just feels really beautiful to be able to practice in this lifetime. And yeah, like, who cares what other people think? Who cares if they think you're crazy? Um, it's just really important to, to develop your own gifts, any of your gifts. Together, we're all like helping change this world by bringing in our own gifts from different lifetimes. And they're not going to, even the label light language or soul language or light codes, light transmissions, all these different labels that are human terms that we've overlaid onto some of the things that are coming through for some people, they have expectations and limitations. So I definitely recommend you remove those as much as possible and allow your gift to really flow through. And I feel everyone can speak it, everyone can express themselves however they want. And I also just wanted to leave you with a final thought, which is I was thinking, I wonder if there's songs out there that already have light language, but they're in like popular culture. And yeah, I find that really interesting. Uh, there are songs out there that don't have, you know, hu- human or planet Earth languages. They're just kind of, people would maybe describe them as just made up uh, songs. But I think they're really interesting to reflect on, because there are many like chart topping, number one songs out there that that in over the decades have had no actual language in them, and yet, like I remember, like, was it called Wooly Bully? I think I remember that being in the 80s show Moonlighting, but it's like quite a famous song. There's also that Ooga Shaka song that was in Reservoir Dogs, the movie. Oh, there's just so many, and they're just. I think it's really interesting because when you think about it, when people sing along to these songs, they're not applying a label. They're just really excited about the energy that it brings and just this happiness and flow. So why can't we do the same when we create our own languages, our own expressions, and just to do it without any fear or expectation. So we're up on time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helpful. If you'd like any more videos on the subject, please let me know. And I hope you enjoy my daily meditations and when I speak light language or sing it. I hope it helps your mind understand enough that to let your heart listen and to your mind to just step aside while that expression comes through so you can receive it. So thank you so much, and I'll send my love from England. Take care. Send love.